So Aston Villa putting their fine run of form to the ultimate test as they take on the reigning champions Chelsea here at the Poundland Bescot Stadium. Aston Villa on a roll. They will have watched with great interest Chelsea's exploits in the Champions League in the week when they went the distance against Lyon. Penalties required for Chelsea to progress to the semi-finals. How much has that taken out of Emma Hayes' players? Villa will fancy their chances. They are 8 unbeaten at the moment in all competitions. 7 straight games in the WSL without defeat, winning 5 of them. Why can't they see off the champions here this evening? Let's have a look at the team news for you then, and there is just the one change for Aston Villa from the side that thumped Leicester last time out, and that sees Laura Blinkild-Brown come into the starting lineup, a young player with plenty of talent. She replaces Evie Rabjon, who drops down to the bench. As for Chelsea, 5 alterations from that Champions League game in the week, perhaps understandable given all of the exertions. One of them comes in goal, Musovic in for Berger. Canckovic, Fleming, Ritting, Kanyed and Ingle are the others who start, with James, Cuthbert, Perese and Berger moving to the bench. Leupolz is unavailable after suffering an injury in that game against Lyon. Well, it is a tantalising game that we have in store here this evening. Chelsea would be well fancied to beat any of the sides outside of the big 4 in the WSL, but Aston Villa have certainly been causing some headlines and causing quite a few people to sit up and take notice. Emma Hayes, though, is a big fan of Carla Ward, the Aston Villa manager. Said that she always knew that she had brilliant coaching ability, and that has been shown, really, hasn't it, with the way that Villa have got themselves into 5th position in the table. They want to be the best of the rest. That is the message from Carla Ward. And this is an opportunity to see just how far they have progressed, looking to end that wretched run that they've got in head-to-head games against Chelsea. They've lost all 5 of their WSL matches against them, conceding 11 goals and scoring just the once in reply. So it will be Aston Villa kicking from right to left in this first half to get us underway, and before the action, the players, match officials and coaching staff all take a knee. So it's the final game of the weekend in the WSL. Chelsea have had to sit and watch victories for both Manchester United and Arsenal. Now it's their turn to try and keep pace at the top of the table, having gone the distance with Lyon in the Champions League in the week. A nervy and very dramatic climax to that tie, which saw them progress on penalties, thanks to winning a very last-gasp penalty to take it to a shootout in the first place. Rachel Daly looking to continue her good run of form, nominated for Goal of the Month and Player of the Month for March. Cut out by Ingle. Staniforth operating then in a right-back position with Blinkild-Brown shunted into midfield. It's certainly a show of faith in the youngster. Chelsea have kept a clean sheet in both of their WSL visits to Aston Villa, winning 4-0 in January of 2021 and by a goal to nil in November in the same year. Hansen loses out. He's helped to win it back though. Lehmann jostling for it. It's back with Buchanan now for Chelsea. Useful pass. Britton Conread. Ingle. And again. Ingle hammered it across. It missed Reiten, but it might work out for them anyway. Charles couldn't get a clean cross in, and it's gathered gratefully by Hannah Hampton. Lively start. It's shaping up to be the best WSL title race ever, isn't it? With Chelsea, Manchester City, Manchester United and Arsenal all trading blows as we go towards the home stretch. That Katie McCabe stunner certainly adding another twist to the tale. With Arsenal coming from behind to see off Manchester City 2-1 earlier. Lifted in by Staniforth, should be easy enough for Musovic. Emma Hayes was talking about the 5 changes that she's made today. Musovic, one of those who's come into the starting lineup. Said it's the freshest team that they have available. Used a lot of energy in the week in that shootout success over Lyon. And talking of energy and how to conserve it, she says looking at league positions is just wasted energy. She knows come the end of the season it'll be a fight for the top 3 amongst the current top 4. And likewise when it comes to who will be crowned champions. Canckovic sends it on. Britton Conread. It's going to be an early Chelsea corner. Corner to be delivered by Fleming. Well, she's gone to the near post. They switched off there and then got a bit lucky. Ingle back into the mix. Hooked away by Daly. Now Britton Conread trying to make some inroads, and Villa get a little bit fortunate there. Certainly got a bit lucky with the fact that that initial corner came to nothing. Canckovic forwards again. Here's Buchanan. Carter. Emma Hayes was certainly fulsome in her praise of opposite number Carla Ward, who when she was speaking about the title run-in, said that she expects it to go right down to the wire with all 4 of the contenders in with a real shout of the title. Chelsea trying to get themselves in front. Kerr's onto it. Couldn't get the shot in herself and couldn't find a teammate with the pass either. But the pressure is mounting. Chelsea starting to really knock at the door. Kenza Dali. Staniforth. Just need to get a bit of possession, Aston Villa. Square from Turner. All the way back to Hampton, who's then belted that straight out of play. Well, Reiten's cut back here. Hampton got hands to it and then got a vital touch there to prevent Kerr having a tap in. Very good work from Hampton. He was called up to Sarina Wigman's squad for the Lionesses games against Brazil and Australia, along with Jordan Nobbs and, of course, the in-form Rachel Daly. Musovic. Trying to find Reiten, unable to do so. Lehmann trying to help out as well. Staniforth. Eight games unbeaten, Aston Villa coming into this game, 5th in the table. 5-0 they were winners by against Leicester City last time out. And it was a game that Carla Ward actually said she didn't think that they played that well in, which is quite something. There is Carla Ward, who knows that her side have got a big part to play in the title run-in. They took points off Manchester City in January in their 1-1 draw in the WSL. They knocked Manchester City out of the FA Cup as well, and after this they host Manchester United at the end of April, and their final game of the season is away at Arsenal. Gifted straight to Blinkild Brown. Buchanan. Chelsea with a lot of the ball in the opening stages. 7 unbeaten in the WSL for Villa, and 4 wins in a row coming into this. Is their best ever winning run in the league as well. Checo. Turner sliced it. She says it isn't difficult to get people refocused. For her, it's about getting players refreshed, and they've had such a congested calendar, haven't they, with 7 matches across 4 different competitions in March. And we're in April now, and they're still fighting on 3 fronts. Back to domestic matters this evening. Although there was such a flurry of excitement when the tickets for the game against Barcelona in the Champions League semi-finals went on sale. They faced them on Saturday, the 22nd of April. The date for the game in Spain yet to be announced. Reiten. Charles. Still Nave Charles. Teeing up Fleming. Carter makes the offer. Carter's pass was useful. Back there to help out is Hampton. And here is Hampton again. Just nudged off it by Carter. Nothing wrong with that according to the referee. In fact, there is going to be a free kick. They're top of the form table. Carla Ward's team across the last 7 matches in the WSL, 5 victories in that period. 17 points they've taken, more than Manchester United, Chelsea, Manchester City, Arsenal. Chelsea playing that emotionally draining Champions League game. It's an opportunity for Carla Ward's team. She admitted that she was delighted on 2 fronts when watching in the week. She wanted Chelsea to go through, but the fact that they had to go through extra time as well meant that her side would have a bit of extra rest in their legs in comparison. It's not quite on the same page as Reiten Conried. Canckovic. Quickly taken throw, back to Carter. Ingle forwards. Canckovic. Useful. Reiten Conried in, and then Reiten denied by Hampton. That's an excellent save. First time that Chelsea have really sliced through the back of the Aston Villa defence, and it was so well struck by Guro Reiten, and excellent reflexes from Hannah Hampton to keep it out. Now, chance of Villa to get forwards for the first time. Buchanan's clearance. Buchanan's block. Jordan Nobbs. Weaved out wide for Hansen. First time ball in is useful. And it's still alive here for Villa. Not fully dealt with, and Lehmann can make the most of it. Hansen. Well, the dummy didn't quite come off. Kerr with the offload. Now the game has suddenly sprung into life. Buchanan. And unfairly levered off it by Rachel Daly. Carla Ward, a contender for the Manager of the Month award for March. 5th place in the Barclays Women's Super League, solidified. Here's Nobbs. Staniforth. Back for Nobbs. Lehmann just left it behind. Villa playing a bit higher up the pitch now and just asking a couple more questions of Chelsea, although the whistle has gone there. Carter. Back That gets all the way back to Hannah Hampton, who was receiving plenty of praise from Carla Ward, who called her flying at the moment following that Lionesses recall for the games against Brazil and Australia that are coming up next weekend. Brown's given it away. Lovely flick round the corner. Oh, and then it split the difference just as Kerr was getting into a shooting position. Sam Kerr has it back anyway. Gets the ball in early. Charles forced wide. Canckovic with no time to work with. In from Ritten Conread. There may have been a hand in there, nothing doing though. Jess Carter waits for an option. Carter again. And it's going to be another Chelsea throw again. Carter to Ingle. Straight into Jordan Nobbs. That's given away to Reiten though. Dangerous area, Reiten with the hit. Reiten again. Bit of pinball by the edge of the Villa area, and now finally they get it up to Daly. Charles Gamble didn't get there, and they might be a bit light at the back now, Chelsea. Staniforth. Daly. That's a handy pass. Oh, good ball, good chance, great save. What a wonderful move that was. And Zecira Musovic down ever so smartly to prevent Aston Villa taking the lead in some style via Rachel Daly. Great improvised finish. And it's a terrific reaction stop. Top draw football all round. Well, she's in the mix for goal of the month for March. That would have been an early contender for one in April. Musovic has opted to stay, and it's unfortunate that Patton couldn't get on the end of it for Villa. Here's Buchanan. Not quite what Jordan Nobbs was hoping for, but it goes out for a throw. And Rachel Daly, 13 goals in 16 WSL appearances already this season, almost adding to her tally in some style there. Chelsea would have expected to have been given a run for their money by Aston Villa, given the respective form coming into the game, and certainly that's been the case as we edge towards the midway point in the first half. It's a foul. Staniforth doesn't protest. Reiten, I think, is asking whether it might have merited a card as well as a free kick. Reiten and Fleming in conversation. It's Fleming to take. Deep one as well. Kerr's up there. Dangerous. Hacked away as far as Reiten. Another good-looking ball in. Dangerous again. And this time it's in. Chelsea in front. Jelena Canckovic on target. Aston Villa's resolve is broken. So soon after Villa came close to taking the lead, it's the champions who have got themselves in front. It was just a constant aerial bombardment, and in the end the defence couldn't hold out, and Canckovic was on hand to bag her third WSL goal of the campaign. It was Charles who got it back across. Eriksson put the pressure on Hampton, who didn't get a clean touch on it, off her knee. And Canckovic, quickest to react. It's only the second game in the WSL this season that she's scored in, because two previous Chelsea goals both came in the same match, the 3-2 victory at home to Reading in December. Well, she's back in the England squad, but she might be disappointed with what happened there for Chelsea's opener. Ingle, that's to no one in particular. Hampton's coming for this and uses her feet because it might have been deemed a back pass. Ingle's touch wasn't ideal. Steps in there to win it back though. Canckovic sends it on. Nobbs back to tidy things up for Aston Villa. Up goes Eriksson. Chico has to send it back. Chelsea pushing up the pitch and squeezing the space. It's Fleming now. Back for Carter. Ingle. Cleverly done. Oh, and she lunged in and didn't get there, and then Hampton comes out to narrow the angle to prevent Johanna Rytting-Conry doubling Chelsea's lead. Such an intelligent lifted pass from Reiten to try and set Johanna Rytting-Conry away. And then the lunging challenge from Turner didn't get hold of the ball, and Hampton had to do her bit to keep Chelsea out. Another testing aerial ball, and this time Hampton gets hands to Sam Kerr's header. I think Kerr will feel disappointed that this wasn't a more testing save for Hampton to make. She didn't really get the desired contact on it. It was a really engrossing game, and you can see there Chelsea have certainly had the better of it when it's come to attempts. Problem for Aston Villa so far is they've not been able to get Kenza Dali on the ball enough. She's got such impressive numbers this season when it comes to carrying the ball up the pitch. Done so further than any other player in the WSL this season, has the French midfielder. Here she is now. Daly. Nicely scooped on for Nobbs. He gets the ball in. Eriksson gets her boot to it. Staniforth didn't quite know where that had gone. It's back for and killed Brown. No Millie Bright in the Chelsea squad this evening. Chelsea confirmed that she's also withdrawn from the England squad ahead of their upcoming camp. They did look a little bit shaky without her in the game against Lyon and the game against Manchester City as well. So that they'll release more information in due course when it comes to her current situation. In eventually from Staniforth, and Musovic able to gather without too much bother. Musovic upfield. Buchanan. Daly. Ooh, nearly lost it in a bad area, and has lost it in a bad area. Canckovic. And now Reiten Conried. They get it back to Hannah Hampton. Daly is the most relieved player on the pitch. The whistle has gone for something here. Must have been an offside that was given. It gives Aston Villa this free kick. Back from Carter to Musovic. Picked up here by Turner. Pacheco. Daly asking a bit too much of Hansen. Carter tidies up for Chelsea. It's in Conried. Canckovic will chase. It's back with Hampton. And killed Brown. Risky. Nobbs back to save the day. So half an hour played. Chelsea with a narrow lead, but Villa have shown on a couple of occasions that they have got the artillery to trouble the Blues backline. Nobbs won't get there ahead of Eriksson on that occasion. Lovely turn and go, and then that might be a card. Certainly that's the case that Chelsea are making. Guro Reiten feels that she's been on the receiving end of a couple of challenges that may have deserved a caution. Well, they have goals in their locker recently. 15 they've netted in their last 4 WSL games. Stuck 5 past Leicester City. She will back them to be able to create some problems for Chelsea. But they've looked shaky when trying to defend set pieces so far, and they haven't dealt with that one too well. Ingle. Now Reiten. Daly couldn't bring it under a spell. Ingle goes back to Buchanan. Fleming. Reiten, cleverly done, danger here, and Kerr was offside anyway. She'll still be cursing herself for not converting, even if the flag was about to be raised against her in any regard. Close, isn't it? As things stand, Chelsea would be moving up to second in the table, a point behind Manchester United, with a game still in hand on United. There's a few that believe that it's such a keenly contested title race this term that may end up being settled by goal difference. Well, Emma Hayes mentioned that it's a tricky pitch here, difficult surface. It hasn't put them out of their stride so far this evening. Eriksson back to Buchanan. This is Jess Carter. Buchanan. Here's Eriksson. It's a lovely pass. And Reiten with the cross. A bit too high for Kerr. I think Conread's there. Half-hearted shouts for a handball. They're not going to get that. Daly having to drop deep. That's good play from her. Now it's Nobbs. Desperate for an option, and no one was forthcoming, so has to go backwards. Daly. Daly to no one in particular. Daly looking to get Lehmann away, but it was too much on the pass. Ingle. Pacheco. Pressure was applied, and Maz Pacheco getting back quickly to find Hampton. He has to be careful. It's gifted to Canckovic. The goal scorer puts it in to the arch goal scorer Kerr, who's laid it off, and Reiten has missed a sitter. She will be furious with herself for not doing better. Villa with a let-off, especially for Maz Pacheco, who gave it away. Kerr made a nuisance of herself and then teed up Reiten. The only thing you might say is, was there a little bobble before she let fly? Even so, that should be 2-0. Chance for Hampton to maybe get in. Musovic was out bravely to deal with it. Back it goes from Daly. after that landslide win against Leicester City in front of 6,500 or so supporters at Villa Park. The Poundland Bescott Stadium this evening is in for a record crowd tonight. Been a very positive week for them following that thumping of Leicester City, but this is bad news for them, and it could easily have been 2-0 as Kerr hits the bar. It's a few let-offs now for Villa. Living dangerously. Another misplaced pass, and Chelsea so quickly in. Kerr a couple of inches too high, but she will know deep down that by her high standards that has to go in. Those last two big chances, both coming about after some sloppy play from Villa at the back. Staniforth. Worked across here to Pacheco, and again they've given it away just outside their own area. Reiten Conried needs some support, tried to poke it through to Canckovic. Daly. Well read by Eriksson. Will be picked up though. Pacheco. Daly with the spin across to Lucy Staniforth. The thing noticeable about Chelsea is that they're generally doing a lot of their attacking down this right-hand side with Reiten and Reiten Conried combining well. It's Villa coming forwards on their right now. Eriksson able to just shepherd it back to Musovic. Well, Ward might be pretty content to go in just 1-0 down at the break. Villa went toe-to-toe with Chelsea early on, but they've been rocking a bit in the last 10 or 15 minutes or so, and those two big chances that have come and gone for Reiten and Kerr. Buchanan. Now it's Carter. Checo was quickly onto that. 5 minutes left of the first half then. Chelsea's last trip to Aston Villa in November 2021 saw them emerge with a 1-0 victory. I feel it should be a larger margin in their current trip to the Villains. Staniforth has kept it in. Hampton for Turner. Again, it's a little bit of a sketchy pass. Get away with it on this occasion to Aston Villa. Daly sending it on, but it means that she's not in the middle to try and get on the end of anything, at least not for now. She's made her way forwards. It's come out to Pacheco. Daly quickly crowded out. Chelsea allowing them any time and space. Daly nearly ended up taking the ball out herself there. And that's a risky ball. And it's Reiten who's onto it for Chelsea. Canckovic. Reiten! 2-0 Chelsea. The champions take charge. And it was just one mistake too many from Aston Villa. And on this occasion, it was punished. They'd had a number of let-offs after giving the ball away in bad areas. Didn't get away with this one. Reiten on the move into Canckovic, who was unselfish. Teed up Reiten, and on this occasion, she hit it perfectly. Fluffed her lines earlier, nailed them here. And it's a long way back for Aston Villa. No Champions League hangover on show from the Blues. Aston Villa 0, Chelsea 2. That's a real tough one for Carla Ward's side to take. Just a couple of minutes until the break, but she can't really have any complaints about the scoreline. Chelsea good value for it as they've really grown in authority as the half has worn on. Hansen, that's useful. Pacheco chasing, and Pacheco will gratefully accept the corner. Lucy Fleming scored the only goal when Chelsea won here in November 2021. Last minute of normal time in the half then. Remembering Musovic has had to make one pretty smart save already and had to get behind that header as well. A collision between two of the Villa players there. It was Hansen who was arriving to get a head on it, and she collided with Anna Patton in the process. Work for Carla Ward's side to do. I mentioned that she's been nominated for Manager of the Month. It's the 5th time this season Carla Ward has been on the shortlist for that award. Oversaw Villa's biggest ever margin of victory in the WSL against Leicester, while securing 5th place in the standings for the time being as well. Picked up the award in September and January. It's going to take a real feat of her managerial abilities to try and get Villa back in the equation this evening, as the champions have shown their class. This was the opening goal. Charles' header not dealt with by Hampton, and Canckovic quickest to react to slam in her 3rd WSL goal of the campaign midway through the half. And then right at the end of the half, Reiten was on the spot and picked her spot with a fine finish to give Emma Hayes' side breathing space. Five in the WSL now this season for Guro Reiten. Averages about a goal a month in the WSL. First of the season in November, another one in December, and then one in February, March, and now April. Nearly coughed it up in a bad area once again. Daly's asking for it, Nobbs looking for her, but easy for Kadisha Buchanan, and that will be the last action of the half. Chelsea heading second in the table as things stand, in front after Jelena Canckovic guided home midway through the first period, and Guro Reiten adding to the goal at the end of the first half to put Chelsea in a commanding position against an in-form Aston Villa, who did close themselves when Daly was denied by Musovic. At the break then, it is Aston Villa 0, Chelsea 2. Chelsea get this second half underway then in a very strong position to get the win that would move them back up to second and to within a point of the leaders Manchester United, and Emma Hayes' side would still have a game in hand on United as well. The next game that her side will play is against Aston Villa again. They meet in the FA Cup semi-final here. That's on the 16th of April. We've got an international break coming up next weekend. And then Chelsea, after that FA Cup game, have the glamour tie of hosting Barcelona in the first leg of their Champions League semi-final. Between the two legs of their European tie with Barca, they face struggling Leicester at home, and then we are into May. Amongst the matches that they have during the run-in is a home one against Arsenal on the penultimate weekend of the season. How pivotal that might be, but a lot of twists and turns ahead. Villa still comfortable in 5th place. That's what Carla Ward says is the aim for Villa now, to be the best of the rest behind Chelsea, Arsenal, City and United. Musovic upfield. Turner gets it away. Nobbs won't get there ahead of Ingle. Here's Ingle. Reiten. Hampton. Haven't seen enough of Alisha Lehmann. She almost got caught out there, and she has been caught out here. Canckovic. Ingle. Chelsea have done a good job of stopping the supply line through to Rachel Daly. Seen so little of the ball so far. Having to drop deep on a number of occasions to try and get involved. Reiten's lost out to Nobbs here. Jordan Nobbs. Do like to try and get it out from the back, Villa. It is admirable, it is easy on the eye, but it's also cost them at least once this evening, and a bit fortunate that it hasn't cost them a few more times as well when they've given it away around their own penalty area. Here's Patton. Forwards by Benkilla Brown. Kerr. Offloading to Reiten. Reiten's ball in! Deserved to be touched in by Reiten Conried. Daly, and that's exactly what I mean, that she's having to go all the way back towards her own penalty area to try and get a touch on the ball. Lehmann. No foul. Desperately need to get Lehmann and Daly both into the game. They've had a few opportunities now with Daly and Nobbs bringing the ball forwards, but Lehmann and Daly have got to come to the party. They've not really been involved yet. Now here is Alisha Lehmann, and that's useful! Daly couldn't get the kind of connection she was hoping for. And Gilla Brown, she's had a go. Musovic can watch it go wide. Well, this was much more like it. Him getting the ball into just the right spot, and you can see there that Kenza Dali didn't make anywhere near the kind of connection she was hoping for, and it was cleared away comfortably by Carter. This is what they need more of, though. Right, sticks out of boot. Daly. Nobbs. Useful. Lehmann's after it. And Lehmann's offside. Well, she's seen more of the ball down that right flank in the opening 6 minutes of the second half than pretty much the entirety of the first period. So even though she was caught offside here, Villa won't mind that too much because she's at least getting more into the game. Villa going in without a goal before the break means that Chelsea have stopped the opposition from scoring in the first half in 12 of their 16 matches so far this season in the WSL. And it's been impressive from the Blues. Go through what they did in midweek, come here with so much energy and aggression still. Eriksson got something on it. Ingles' touch has almost found its way to Fleming. In fact, Villa have it and now have Daly on the ball. As Pacheco not quick enough to get there ahead of Carter, who took no chances and absolutely leathered it out of play for a throw. Hansen got it in. Buchanan's touch wasn't ideal, but then it came off as Pacheco last and will be a goal kick. Chelsea have won all but one of the WSL games where they've led at the break this season. The opening day loss to Liverpool, the only blot on Emma Hayes' record in that regard this season. Nobbs. It's only away as far as Daly. Nutmeg on Nobbs there. Kerr's interested in this, and Hampton's come a long way and has dealt with it very coolly. Hansen. 2 for company, and it was too many. Jessie Fleming. Here's Carter. Villa have won 13 points from losing positions this season. But 2-0 down, and it being against the champions, this adds a bit of a different complexion to the challenge in front of them. I didn't like that, and I think it will just be a talking to for Jordan Nobbs. It was certainly late on Reiten, who feels that she has definitely been in the wars. Reiten will take the free kick. And that's come all the way through for Sam Kerr. Game over now. Well, she has fully deserved to get on the score sheet. And now the Australian has netted and has wrapped up the win for the champions. Played a big part in the opening 2 goals for Chelsea, and now has a goal of her own. Nobody picking her up on the far post here. It's a really intelligent nudge from Charles to find her, and how about that for a finish? Sam Kerr, composure, coolness, and then the crisp finish. All round excellent play from Sam Kerr, and that finish has surely finished off the contest now. Well, 50 WSL goals in 62 appearances. Only Viviana Miedema has got to that landmark quicker than the Aussie ace. Well, you've got to take your chances. Villa have had a couple. Daly's effort that Musovic got a hand to in the first half, and if Daly had done a bit better when she was picked out by Lehmann, could have been 2-1, but instead it's 3-0, and you cannot see a way back for Villa now. Plenty thought that Villa's form and Chelsea's exertions in the week would open the door for a potential upset, but that is not going to happen. And they're hungry for more as well. And Daly has been flagged here, I think. Buchanan just checked and waited. does Carla Ward do from here? Charles. Reiten. Flags up. Sam Kerr reaching 50 WSL goals in 62 appearances. 50 under Miedemar, the only player to do it quicker. She managed it in 50 appearances. Just a question about whether she may have been offside, but it was not something that the assistant referee spotted. Definitely think it was nudged on by Charles. So an hour played, and Chelsea making light work of what many thought could have been a very tricky tie for them. Jordan Nobbs amongst those Villa players who's just not been able to really take hold of this game, but that's down to the quality in the Chelsea ranks, really. Here is Nobbs. Lehmann wants it. Charles back there. Charles into Reiten. Look at that for a pass. Great touch from Kerr as well. What a move this is from Chelsea. Is there an end product? No, but there is a corner. Such a sweeping move forwards. Kerr with the control and then the awareness to send it on. They've gone short with the corner. Eriksson helps it back. Kerr again! Hampton in the way. Buchanan. Reiten. Jordan Nobbs. Played off by Blinkilla Brown. Youngsters there again. Reiten. Things going well for the Chelsea women's team. It's not been quite as plain sailing for the men's side, and reports emerging that the men's team have parted way with their head coach Graham Potter. Ironically, Chelsea were playing Aston Villa in the Premier League yesterday in terms of the men's sides, and Villa came out on top in that one. Chelsea could have extended their lead in the WSL this evening to 4-0 if Hampton hadn't got a big hand on that. Hampton. Charles. And again. Ingle. Fleming. Nice footwork. Good challenge back on her by Turner to just take it away in the nick of time. Charles, nicely touched on, gets it back from Reiten. Charles on the move, Kerr screaming for it, the ball in, can't quite find her. Reiten Conried was there and gets it back again, thought about having a pop. Will break for Kerr. Ingle. Mark of the calibre of Chelsea, that 3-0 up, and considering all the matches they've had to play, there is no sign of them taking their foot off the gas whatsoever. Ingle now. Charles. Kerr, unselfishly done, and over the top from Ingle. Well, it could have been 5 or 6 by now if Chelsea had been a bit more clinical. Once again, Sam Kerr involved, and where is the marking? Cannot let a player like Sam Kerr have that much space and not expect to pay the price. Ingle just a bit too high with the finish.
Substitution for Aston Villa, replacing number 7, Alisha Lehmann. Please welcome number 31,
So Alisha Lehmann is going to head off, and Littlejohn is the replacement. Saw brief glimpses of Lehmann being able to make things happen down that right-hand side at the start of the second half, but just faded away as it went on. It's been a chastening evening. She always expected it to be. Wanted to test themselves against the very best, not just in England, but the continent as a whole. Turner needs some running repairs administered. Long second half. Certainly the performance that Emma Hayes would have wanted, and also the scoreline that she would have wanted, to have such a nice buffer. It's going to work its way to Hampton. He's had a pop, and Musovic with a straightforward gather. Just not enough claret and blue in the area to find a teammate with. "20 minutes left to play." It will feel like an age for Villa as they chase shadows, really. Reiten sends it across to Charles. Kerr. Charles. Reiten wriggling away and getting it into a good area. This control was by Hampton, so it's a crossing chance for Carter. Back in field to Fleming. Eriksson. Chelsea just looks so comfortable and enjoying having the ability to just knock it around at ease. Staniforth. Well, they'll have to regroup and get themselves ready to go again against Chelsea in a few weeks' time when they contest that Women's FA Cup semi-final on the 16th of April. It's been a good midweek for the Chelsea supporters, and followed up by this evening after the defeat to Manchester City in the WSL last weekend. We might just be digesting news of what's happened with the men's team, with Graham Potter having been sacked by Chelsea. Patton. Littlejohn. That's nicely done. And a bit too much of it was shown by Checo. That's a useful looking ball in. Nobbs. Here's Nobbs. Staniforth. And again. Reiten. Nearly managed to go one way and knock the ball the other past Staniforth, who has got it forward. Buchanan's there. Fleming. So it is going to be 6 wins from 6 for Chelsea against Villa in the WSL. And they are set to make it 3 consecutive clean sheets away from home against Villa in the WSL as well, to follow up a 4-0 and 1-0 win in their 2 previous away games against the Villains. Final 15 minutes of what has been an impressive display from her team. Double the amount of shots, more than double the amount of shots on target. And Villa have still had more of the ball. Hansen leading the counter here. Buchanan across, Hansen gets it in! Oh! Tough chance for Daly. Made a clever run towards the near post, but the angle was always going to be difficult to get it on target from. Did well, though, to just run in front of Eriksson, which gave it a chance to at least have a go. Excellent stuff from Hansen on the left to create the opportunity. And that's Hansen's last action of the game. She is going to be withdrawn. One of the hardest workers in that Villa side, both defensively and getting forwards, and Freya Gregory is the replacement for her. Villa still trying to get themselves a goal. And substitute doing her bit as well. It's off Buchanan. It's not quite gone out, unfortunately, and then Gregory has unfortunately committed the foul.
Confirmation of tonight's attendance, which reads at 3,835. Thank you very much for your support for this evening. Thank you.
Well, Chelsea hadn't made any changes up until now. But there is going to be a late shuffling of the pack. Gregory doesn't quite find the pass she was hoping for. Eriksson. That's a Chelsea throw, and it might be a Chelsea chance to make those changes. Carter will take it. Canckovic. Reiten. Engel almost gave it back to Reiten. Staniforth. Killer Brown. Staniforth again. It's asking a bit too much of Daly, who has actually been presented it, though, by Buchanan. Killer Brown. Daly. Decent looking delivery that. And Gregory across and Buchanan away. Nobbs is there. Gregory again. Blocked by Carter. Well, she's made quite the impact since coming on, Freya Gregory. Buchanan with the block, and Chelsea have now won it, but there was a foul in there. Well, Sam Kerr has hit her half-century in the WSL. Second fastest player to reach that mark. This is how she did it. And she will get the final 10 minutes off. Asu Abdulina and I think it's Eb Perisset are coming on. And Guro Reiten is the other player to depart. Nobbs. Gregory asking for it. She's demanded the ball since coming on and has got the ball into the side netting here. Villa convinced that there was a Chelsea touch. That's certainly the point that she's making. Musovic will be wanting to ensure that she keeps her clean sheet intact. Only her 6th WSL appearance of the season, all of them coming in starts. But she's only managed the one clean sheet, and that was in the goalless draw against Liverpool. Daly. Charles. Jessie Fleming.
There's too many ends over there. Too many ends. There's only 4 left. 4.
Got to the byline well and has forced a corner. No, in fact, it's a goal kick. So next weekend it's internationals, and then they get ready to meet Aston Villa once more in the FA Cup semi-finals. It's going to be Villa's first defeat in 8. They'd won 5 and drawn 2 of their most recent 7 WSL matches. And having bagged 15 goals in their last 4 WSL games, they're 10 minutes or so away from drawing a blank tonight. You can bet your bottom dollar Sam Kerr, while having reached that landmark of 50 WSL goals, will be cursing the fact that she didn't put away another couple of chances. Staniforth. Finished 3-1 to Chelsea at Kingsmeadow in October. They're trying to make it 3-1 this time around. Staniforth. Here's Staniforth again. Daly. Well, that's intelligently done. And away goes Blinkilla. Brown! Musovic palms it away from Nobbs. Littlejohn. Well, fair play to Aston Villa. Their heads haven't dropped since going 3-0 down. They have stuck to it. Patton. Here's Staniforth. Deep one. Musovic has gone a long way and safely gathered. This was neatly done. First time effort was certainly on target, and Musovic needed to deal with it. Buchanan. Well, they lost for only the second time this season in the WSL at Manchester City last time out, Chelsea, but they have certainly put that behind them with the manner of the week they've had since the penalty shootout success against the European champions Lyon, and now a comfortable victory away at the form team in the WSL, making light work of Carla Ward's side. Villa in great form, and she mentioned as well the playing surface here being something they also have to contend with. And they have utilised the confidence earned in the week and not been too badly affected by the physical exertions. In terms of their upcoming WSL games, Chelsea will be cheering on Villa in a few weeks' time because they play Manchester United at the end of April, and Chelsea will be a point behind Manchester United after this victory, and Emma Hayes' side will have a game in hand on the current league leaders as well. So 90 seconds of the 90 minutes left to play. Villa still battling gamely. That will be something that Carla Ward will be heartened by. Heads have not dropped one bit, and they have continued to try and find a way back into this game. Might have had a chance there if Daly's pass hadn't had quite as much zip on it. A 14-game unbeaten WSL run ended by Manchester City last weekend, but they've responded in style. And any exhaustion that their players have had to contend with has been dealt with the minimum of fuss. Teams have met 9 times before in all competitions, with Chelsea winning all of them. And despite The Blues' dominance, 3 of the last 5 encounters have only been decided by the odd goal. Not this time around. And Chelsea good value for their margin of victory as well. Is there time for a Villa consolation? Eriksson stretches to intercept. You're going to have 3 minutes tacked on at the end. It was Rachel Daly who scored Villa's goal in the 3-1 defeat at Kingsmeadow in October. She had a couple of chances tonight too. Gregory. Chelsea still look hungry to try and extend their advantage. Getting Conried. Canckovic. Here's Carter. Eriksson. Around the corner, looking for Perese. Carter. Block comes from Daly, who wants a bit more from her teammates. Daly. Look back and think of a couple of what might have been moments. Daly's chance in the first half and Daly's fluffed effort in the second when the game was still not entirely settled. Buchanan's certainly not settled with the way that she's got into that challenge, and Daly asking whether there's going to be any further retribution from the referee, and there's going to be a yellow card for Kadisha Buchanan in the very last few seconds. The only block really for the Blues backline this evening.
Keith, move it back! Move it back! Are you happy? Keep moving closer. You happy? No. Move it back. I've asked you 3 times. Move it back. It's going to touchline. Move it back.
Hampton with this free kick then.
No.
Flicked on and across and wide. Chelsea made it through to the Champions League semi-finals in the week, and they have moved to within a point of the summit in the WSL this evening. Back on track after their defeat to Manchester City last time out in the league. A comfortable success away to the informed team in the division in the shape of Aston Villa. Canckovic got them on their way. A fine strike from Reiten doubled their lead, and Sam Kerr with a landmark goal, her 50th in the WSL, made the game all but safe for the Blues. A result all the more impressive given their exertions in the week, the mental and emotional and physical toll that the penalty shootout success over Lyon would have taken. They came through that challenge and have come through this one with flying colours as well. Chelsea up to second, Aston Villa 0, Chelsea 3.